All right. How's that, kids? David Becker, very cool guitar. How are you?
I'm good, Gary. How you
Thank
doing?
you so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure.
I was very surprised.
Well, I mean, when you gave me the invitation, I mean, I'm in Southern California, and I thought, why not? You know, I always take the opportunity to come out because, you know, shows like this, they're not the kinds of shows that I usually do on the air, but I always find it's a great way for people to discover what I do that don't know me, and I'm always willing to come out.
And that's the whole thing about my show, the demo radio, exposing people to the masses. And I was very surprised because somebody of your stature, playing for over 30 years, two-time Grammy-nominated guitar player, wants to come down and do my little radio show. I was just thrilled.
Well, I'm glad to be here, man. You know, I'm glad I could work it into my schedule because I mean things like this are important because you know it doesn't matter if we're here or it's Sirius Radio. It's all the same because we're reaching people. In fact, if anything, I think what you do has more of a target audience of people that specifically tune in to hear you every week. And that's
I do.
And for where we're at now today in 2016 with the way the music business and the radio stations and everything's kind of morphed into, you know, multimedia, it's important to take stuff like this serious, and I do, and I'm always glad to accommodate when I can. So. And
another thing about my show, I really don't play mainstream radio. I do some national acts, but most of it is local artists trying to make it. But you've been around, you said, since the late 60s?
Yes, late 80s. Well, the mid 80s. The first album came out in '86 on MCA. We actually had been touring. We actually did a gig down here in Orange County. One of the first gigs that the David Becker Tribune did on our tour of '84 was at UC Irvine, and I remember being at their radio station with a guy that I've known now for 30 some odd years, Brad Stone, who is not only he's up in San Jose now, but he has a syndicated jazz program. So, you know, we've been doing it a long, long time, and we've had the good fortune to play all over the world. I mean, we've played in Asia, in South America, all over Europe, all over the States.
Germany,
London. So, you know...
and that release, Long Peter Madsen...
That was the first one on MCA.
And that was a trio?
That was a trio, yeah. The David Becker Tribune is still intact. My brother Bruce on drums. I've been touring, actually, the last couple of years solo, and that's why I did the Lonely Road. Because my brother Bruce, the drummer, had a little girl, so she's 3 now, and we've got a tour of New Zealand and Australia coming up this year with the trio. So I'm going to be doing some more solo stuff in the fall in Europe. I also have a record that came out last year with a bunch of really high-profile jazz guys like Ron Carter and Pat Metheny. It's a tribute to a guitarist from Hungary called Attila Zoller, and it's called Message to Attila. So those were 2 releases that came out in the same year. And I've been kind of touring around the last year all over the place. I was in Europe 3 times, South America, Argentina. You know, the last gig I did before I did the NAMM show was in Argentina. So
that's right, everybody. I've been doing this show for 6 years, but this year was my first NAMM show because I always had to do my show or I was working, and so I made some time. And this thing was incredible. I couldn't believe just thousands and thousands of guitars. Anything that has to do with music. I mean, a plug, a switch, a pickup, anything. The producing, the recording, the boards. And so I was, you can't, actually it went like 4 days. And then I think on my second day, I was on that second level there. I came around the corner. Most of the people, they just pick up the guitar to try them out, and if you're not that good, you shouldn't play. And I came around the corner, and I heard this sweet guitar, and that was it, man. Heritage Guitars, that's where I met David Becker. He does have a signature guitar. It is beautiful. He's playing it tonight. Also, tomorrow night, go to YouTube, and around 7 or 8-ish, put in G-Rock Demo Radio, and you'll be able to see this show with David Becker playing his signature model, H575, carved spruce top, carved curly maple neck, 3-inch solid maple rim, single Seymour Duncan jazz neck pickup. It's just a beautiful guitar, nickel-plated hardware, and he has his prototype with him
Yeah, we call this the
Right.
Million Miler.
The Million Mile. That guitar's done 1,000,000
We've
miles.
done over 1 million. We're actually almost up to 1.5 million now.
Wow.
So, I had it at the show actually the day after you were there that I met you.
Right.
To play it at the booth because we did Heritage did a documentary for their 30th anniversary.
I seen the video camera.
And
right.
so we did at the hotel. They wanted me to play this and talk about it. But I mean, essentially, the guitar that you get, the David Becker, if you order it now, it's exactly like the prototype that I
Yeah, it looks the same.
Yeah. And I've had the thing is that having a signature model guitar is a great honor, but it's for me as a musician. I've had 28 years of experience with this thing on the road,
Right.
so I can tell people why.
So you know
exactly. I know what it can do,
Right.
and there's a lot of attributes that it
So
does.
that one you were playing at the show when I was there, was that a model
That's a brand new one
yes,
for
sale?
For sale, yeah. That one actually
Right.
was sold to a student of
That's
mine in
awesome.
Germany. So
Very cool.
It should have left Kalamazoo already to go over to Europe, and he's been waiting for it for 6 months.
Tested by David Becker
Yeah,
himself.
yeah. So.
Awesome. Okay, so what would you like to play for everybody out there?
Well, I'll do a tune from The Lonely Road. This is a tune that it's an unusual tune, and the title was inspired by my bass player when we were in Indonesia. Somebody asked me, "Where do you live?" And before I could answer, he said he lives in seat 3A. Because I fly a lot. So
That's right.
This started off as an improvised piece, and I sort of put it together for the album to make sort of a cohesive arrangement out of it. And I'm going to use the guitar in a little different manner than it's normally used. So
Right.
this is C3.
And you told me, stick around. You don't want to miss this one. You're rocking with G-Rock, the G-Rock's Demo Radio Show. Wow. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
And not too many people play percussion on the guitar.
No, but you know the thing is that I've been touring with this guitar for such a long time. In the 80s,
you just know everything.
Well, in the 80s, from like 84 to 92, the DBT would travel a lot in the United States. We did, I think, 150,000 miles of gigs, all over from California to Florida to New York to Boston to wherever, Chicago. And we'd log a lot of miles, and I could take guitars on the road. So I'd have like 2 or 3 guitars, an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, and I could get variable sounds. When I had this thing made for me and I started touring in airplanes,
right,
it's a lot harder. You have to tell the promoter, you know, get me this or get me that. So I figured out ways over the years to just get more velocity and sounds out of this thing.